Welcome back to Carnage Unleashed. How you fine gentlemen doing today? Zach, start with you.
We're doing good. We're doing good. I mean, the weather's finally cooled down a little bit, and I've been excited about that. I haven't been outside and just start dripping sweat. Some of us don't have hair like you, Wade, for collect all that sweat we've got. But other than that, I mean, I've been great. I've been excited this whole week because it's fight week. You know what I mean? I love fight week. That means we get to sit in front of some good fights, and I'm excited about these upcoming fights, actually. So, Kevin, how about yourself, buddy?
Well, I, too, am very excited for this weekend's fights, and that's I'm glad to have that because in other sports news, you'll notice I'm not wearing any of my Indianapolis Colts attire. We are officially in the Daniel Jones era, boys. So I have never been happier to have a full card of action to focus on. Take my mind away from the 2026 NFL quarterback class. So won't that be fun? What about you, Wade? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Just gearing up for this weekend. Getting all the back end ones and twos all set up.
Yeah. You mean sit in front of a computer and getting stuff done is what you're saying, right?
Pretty much, got to input all that information in.
Yeah.
Hey, every good crew needs a guy in a chair.
Yeah.
We got the best.
And speaking of all the ones and twos and all the things he's got to input, let's bring up our card for Carnage Fight Series 3, Budka versus Sandlin. We got 10 fights. We got 2 pro fights. We've got a belt fight for the Amis. It's going to be a great night, guys. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, you're going to have heavyweights. You're going to have guys all the way down to 135 pounds. So you're going to see a full spectrum of guys in all different weight classes here. Starting us off is we have Bashaw versus Schwartz here. So I know Schwartz is from Fightopia. He is coming off a loss. 0-1 to, I can't remember what it was, but it was a submission. I believe it was in the second round. I guess I can look him up right now. We do have him in front of me. It was
split decision.
It was a split decision. So that's my bad. Are you sure? Yeah, you're right. Split decision.
Yeah.
My bad. So he's coming off a split decision. So we know he can go the full distance. You know what I mean? So he can go the full distance. Is he going to bring that in? Show his cardio, or do you think he's going to try to come in there and finish up quick? What's your thoughts on that, Wade?
Yeah, I think he definitely has the advantage and the experience of going all 3 rounds, and seems like it was a barn burner being a split decision. So it was back and forth battle.
Mm-hmm.
So has he been through the waters? He knows what that experience is versus Bashaw, his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to have them debut jitters,
Right.
Go out there and just dump that adrenaline?
Well, I think, guys, that although it's his debut, so Jay Bashaw did put on quite a performance. It was one hell of a fight at the Flag City Fight Night. As part of he had a kickboxing match with Josh Frazier, and it was a slobber knocker. So we at least know that Bashaw's got a solid stand-up game. So it will be interesting. And I shouldn't be the one to even say these words. It really should be Wade, but wrestling cardio is different from kickboxing cardio. So that's a whole new ball game. So the point is still relevant that we don't necessarily know with Jay if he's going to have that same stamina. But yeah, I liked what I saw from him in his stand-up game, Wade. What about you?
Yeah, now you say that, I forgot that he did do that kickboxing match. And with that being said, I hope it stays up a little bit and you get to see the leather start flying back and forth. Just makes for a more exciting night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. If that one ends up on its feet, it's going to be exciting. Sorry, Zach.
No, I was just going to agree with him. I mean, that's just what I was going to do is agree with him. I think it's going to be a good fight. We saw him Bashaw go all three rounds. I mean, yeah, it's a little different. 2 minutes, just stand up. So we don't know if the cardio is going to be there for 3 3-minute rounds, but we do know that he's going to come in each round to compete, because each round he came in there and it was a brutal fight. So I'm excited to kind of see this one out and see where it's going. I actually wanted to look up, because what we just discovered, we have so what I just found out, guys who are watching, Tapology predictions. So Tapology has predictions where fans can go in there and they can predict what they want. And by fans' prediction, we don't know how many people voted, so that key information is kind of out. But we have 95% of people thinking that Bashaw is going to be Schwartz. And it's a 75% chance that they all think it's going to be a decision. So everyone thinks that this is going to go, majority of people think this is going to go the distance. Even the 5% that think Schwartz is going to win is all by decision. So a lot of people think this one's just going to go the distance. And I'm not going to complain if it does, because I have a feeling it's going to be a nice, brutal fight, which is what the fans want to see.
Oh, for sure.
So, and then going on to our next fight of the evening on the prelims, we've got Brice Spoon versus Andre Phillips. Now, Andre this is his MMA debut, but he has done some kickboxing. So he's done some, so we know he's got some stand up. I don't know much about his ground game, personally. I don't know. But Brice is a high school wrestler. So that's going to be that classic clash of a ground guy and a stand-up guy. You know, who's going to win? You know, Phillips can sprawl and brawl. He might have a chance. But then if Brice can get in on the legs, take him down and smother him, you know, it depends right there. That's going to be the battle factor.
Yep, I agree. It's going to be one of them classic wrestler versus striker. And does the striker have enough wrestling experience just to stuff the takedowns and keep it standing up? And does that wrestler have enough experience to overcome that and take control of the match?
Yeah, it's always exciting, especially with the additional. There's elements of the unknown here. First time watching these two in the cage, so it'll be a fun one to call early on. I love having those different matchups, whether it be, you know, to talk about the boxing world. You know, you love getting an orthodox versus a southpaw, or when you see somebody with a severe reach advantage, all of those kind of things. So I do love, one of my favorite things just about MMA is the opportunity for these styles to clash. And you never know, some people with wrestling backgrounds spend a lot of time working on that striking. And there have been a few folks that we have sat here and thought, and I've sat at the commentary desk thinking like, all right, we expect this guy's a great grappler. I expect it to go a certain way. And then 9 minutes of blood and fists later, we're covered in blood. So maybe it'll go a different way. Zach, what did the Tapology voters have to say about this one?
They actually did not vote on this one. So this has not been one that they've actually voted on.
My bad.
No, they did.
Hold on.
They did. It's just you didn't see Spoon on there because 100% of people think Phillips is going to win by.
That's why. My bad. Okay. So that's why I didn't see it. So 100% of people think that Phillips is going to win. So there we go. There's your answer. Everyone thinks that Phillips is going to take this hands down. But I mean, Spoon has been what did I say before? He's been off for 3 years. So like he's knocking off that ring rust. So I can probably understand why people are feeling that way, you know, coming in. Someone who's probably been an active kickboxer of recent going against someone who hasn't been doing anything for how many years. So
it's ring rust is a real thing. I don't care what anybody says, it's a real thing.
Now, if you can overcome it or not, that's a different story. Exactly. But it's going to be there. It's going to be there.
It is. It's not like you don't forget to fight, how to fight and stuff like that. It's more about your timing is just not as crisp. I mean, you can see that with like Conor McGregor, when he was in it, his timing was flawless. Then he went on his McGregor thing and tried to come back, and he just wasn't that same person. Like, he didn't have the same timing and all that stuff. So
yeah, not wrong. And I'm trying to think here. Next on our list is we've got Eli Murphy versus Mitchell Harmon. So that's going to be our third fight on the prelims. Both these guys are new, if I'm not mistaken. These are both
debuting.
Both debut.
Oh, debut. We need a bell for that.
So like Mitchell, from what I've collected from the coaches and stuff, he's Mitchell has just turned 18 not too long ago. So he's young, very proud. I'm not going to say he's inexperienced, but 18-year-old, you're probably not as experienced as someone coming in there at 20-some years old who probably has a little bit of background in it. From what his coach said, he's well-rounded in like everything, but he doesn't excel in anything though either. So, which is good for a debut guy. You know what I mean? That's not something that's bad. That's good to have. You're well-rounded. You can perform on the ground. You can perform standing up. You don't excel in anything yet, but you're still new to the game. So give him some time. He'll start developing whether he's going to be a ground guy or a striker, and whatever it is that he favors the most. Now, Eli Murphy is actually brothers with Nate Murphy, who fought on Carnage Fight Series 2, and he ended up winning that fight too. So we'll see if Eli here can follow his brother. And being from Iron Tiger team, not the Iron Tiger Fight Series, that was a long time ago. He's going to come out and he's going to want to stand, because that's what they do. Is they're a stand-up gym. Not saying they can't do any ground game, but they just specialize in stand-up. So expect him to come out throwing hands.
Yep. I wonder, having a brother who has competed, like, if that will help him at all.
Probably.
But as the fans think, this one's going to be the closest of all the fights. So we got 61% thinking Murphy's going to take the win by 92.9% by decision, and 7.1% by KO. And then Harmon with 39% winning, 71.4% by decision. They got 14.3% by submission and 14.3% by KO. So I don't know if the fans know something that we don't. Harmon seems to have a little bit of grappling game.
Yeah, with that submission in there, he must. But he's also he's coming from a demolition. So demolition, you've got a mixed bag there, because you've got some guys that specialize in ground, you got some guys that just specialize in stand-up. So you don't really know where to kind of look of, well, what's it going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't.
Well, that's where it's great to have that well-rounded base, especially early on, because maybe if you have a good foundation and you're going up against somebody who is going to focus on their striking, maybe you spend a little more of your camp working on your grappling. You're going to do some defensive stuff, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of what you work on is what you want to do. You got to have some plans in place to know what to do if you're get out of position. But I think that could be a benefit to him, that he's able to potentially pivot and just focus on a certain aspect of his game. But it's interesting. This was the closest one. So I think this one will be a good one to watch. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Plus, both of them being debut, it's either going to go one of two ways. I feel like it's going to be a quick finish, or it's going to go all three. That's what I feel like is going to happen with this. Then moving on, we have Chaise Boehmer versus Jonathan King. Now, we've seen both of these fighters. Jonathan King was on Carnage Fight Series 2. I believe he lost his bout, and then Chaise had also lost his, but he was on Combate MVP in Bowling Green, Ohio, that we had filmed, and he had lost his bout as well. So both of them coming off a loss, both trying to get in the win column. Chaise, to me, I always see he's more of a ground guy, but then King is also a grappler. He likes to grapple and he likes to do stuff. From some people that know both these fighters have told me that they think that Chaise has the advantage standing up and that King has the ground game advantage. So we'll see, because I normally see Chaise like to go for the takedown. Yeah. So if that's what he's normally comfortable with, he's playing right into King's hand then. Mm-hmm. At least his game plan.
Yeah, so every fight that I've seen Chaise fight, he's gone for that takedown. I think he feels comfortable throwing a couple punches, get in there on that takedown and control, and then try to do some ground and pound and get that rear naked choke. Yeah. Jonathan, yeah, like you said, he seems to be having the edge with jiu-jitsu wise, but I guess we'll see. See if Chaise makes that, or seems like that's more of a threat. So he diverts from his usual plan of how he fights.
Setting up a takedown and going for the takedown.
Yeah.
Yeah. He might want to stand up a little bit more in this, which would be nice to see, because I don't think I've really seen him do too much just stand up in the octagon. Mm-hmm. So it would be nice to see what his skills are. I know he's done some boxing matches and stuff like that here and there. So I'd like to see him kind of put that all together and see him put his striking and ground game together instead of just focusing on one, because I feel like every time I see him, it's just kind of one or the other. Either when it's boxing, it's just all stand up. And then when it comes to MMA that we've seen him, like you said, he strikes to get the takedown and then he tries to go for the takedown every time.
Yep.
So we'll see what he does, and we'll see what King can do this time around. We'll see if maybe he's looking to stand up, because heck, we've seen many of times where we thought it was just like Kevin had said earlier, where we thought it was going to be a ground game and it ended up being a bloodbath of just stand up brutality. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. Now, Wade, what are the polls saying for this one?
Polls for this one: 100% by decision, King.
And what is it by decision?
Yep, 100% by decision.
Okay. So they think that this is going to go they think it's going to go all 3 rounds. I don't think it's going to go all 3 rounds.
I don't think so. I think it ends in the second.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think the first round is going to be a bit of a figuring out round for these two. They're going to feel each other out, and then the leather is going to come out in the second round, and then something's going to happen. And I think, honestly, I think it might be a submission. I don't think it's going to be by punches.
Yep, I will agree with you there. I think it's going to be a decision too.
You think it's going to be a decision?
Or
submission?
Submission. I'm just right.
Wait a minute.
Jevin, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing this. We've seen a few of Chaise's fights, and I think the very first time I ever met him was for a kickboxing show way back in the day, one of the old Indiana ones, and I think he was injured and wasn't able to fight. And the one thing that I've seen over those years is that he certainly has improved. And so I want to see what else he may have added. Like you guys said, is there more coming in the stand-up game? So I'll be interested to see this one. These guys, like you said, both coming off of losses, so a big opportunity to catapult back into the win column, and it could be a lot on the ground. I think that is how it's going to go, but we will see. Yeah, I like second round, though. I think you guys are, you know what? We don't always agree on everything, so let me just go. I'll give you that one. We'll say it's over in the second. by submission.
By submission. Someone's going to submit somebody. We're going to get a finish that one. I really do believe that.
I believe that too.
So then coming into our next one. Now, I apologize, Vincent, if I butcher your last name on this one. Vincent Mendiola, something. I don't know. I don't say names.
Mendiola.
Yeah, see? There we go, Wade. That's what you're here for, right? Against Marcus Torres. So Vincent is coming off a unanimous decision loss. I believe he fought in Kentucky. And so he's jumping up here in Ohio to then face debut Marcus Torres. Vincent's a stand and bang type of fighter. He's going to stand in the pocket. He's going to exchange with you. He doesn't care. And I like that mentality. I do. I love that. And then Torres is from his main gym is Fostoria Jiu-Jitsu Academy. So I think he's going to be a stand-up guy.
Yeah, you think so?
It took you guys a minute. You kind of looked at me like, is this guy stupid?
I was like, are we having another decision submission moment here?
No, he's going to sit there and probably be more of a ground guy. You know, he's going to probably display his jiu-jitsu ability, go for the takedown. So again, this is going to be another classic stand-up versus ground guy. Who's going to win? Who's got the takedown defense, or who's got the better takedown ability? That's what it's going to come down to. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Retweet. What do the people say, Wade?
People say 100% Torres by decision.
By decision.
It's a real cult-like mentality to the Tapology user polls, isn't there? You know? Rarely does this crowd of people disagree, it seems. They're all in one way or another.
What I will say, that's the last 100%.
We had 3 of them, right?
Yeah, we had 3 of them.
Torres, King, and Phillips. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna see. I don't. Unless Torres, I mean, I can understand if they're gonna think Torres is gonna win. He's probably gonna get on top. Control. It's gonna be like UFC last weekend. Let's hopefully it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that one.
I don't know if you heard about that, Kev.
Oh, I have. I mean, hey, listen, I think there's plenty of room at the end for a segment on that if you want, or we can take a detour right now. I'm happy.
We'll wait. and that finishes out our prelims right there. I'm excited about our prelims. We got a lot of new guys on there, which I like to see. I like to see a lot of these new guys coming in, fresh blood, wanting to get into fighting. Can't wait to see what these guys can do and put out, because I love seeing new talent, because they're with us now, and I'm hoping they're going to come back onto our cards later on, so then we can see how they've grown, because that's one thing I loved about the fight world is you, from fight to fight, if they're a true fighter, you're going to see the changes between them of how they've developed as fighters and which path they're really taking. Are they focusing on stand-up? They focusing on ground? Because when you're an amateur, they're normally always focusing on one or the other. Or if they're a wrestler, they're coming in, already have that ground game, and they just focus on that stand-up. So I'm eager to see how these guys are going to do. Now, going into the main card, starting us off, we have a very interesting last name. I'm going to be honest with you. It is Austin Roberts versus Trent. Is it Giesey-Phoenix? Is that how you pronounce that, Kev?
That sounds right. You definitely got the Phoenix part right. So
that I do know. I do know that one.
That counts. That counts for something. Yeah, I think it's probably Giesey.
Okay. Well,
apologies if it's not. We will get it right on Saturday. Don't worry.
Well, both of these gentlemen are ground guys. So we're going to see a grappling event right here. Well, we said that last time for a main event, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But with amateurs, I don't know. I don't see them switching it up too much. So I see them going where it's comfortable for them, instead of pros who will go into the deep waters of where they feel uncomfortable just because they've been doing it for so long. I'm not saying these guys can't or won't. That's just kind of how I see it. I see the amateur guys are going to stick with right now what they feel comfortable with, because, Trent is a debut guy. Austin, he does have some experience. He's 1-3. So he's got some experience coming into this fight. He's coming off a loss to Sean Freeman on Carnage Fight Series 1 to a guillotine choke in the first round. So we know that it's going to be, because I'm pretty sure that fight went straight to the ground too. So I have a feeling this fight itself is going to go straight to the ground as well. I don't see too many punches. I see it going to the ground and these guys fighting for dominance of control.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you there. And for what it's worth, Sean Freeman is incredibly tough, a pretty good fighter in his own right from what we've seen. And I think that's what I remember most about Austin, outside, of course, of, his wrestling ability, is that he's had some tough matchups so far. And so that's a very valuable 1-3. We talk about that a lot, where, especially at the amateur ranks, tough competition is better than a good record at times, especially early on. It's not the end of the world. And so I think with this being a debut, those 4 fights for Austin are very valuable. And so it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if Phoenix tries to keep things, tries to work a little bit of stand up, and then Roberts will then take things to the ground, because that's where he'll probably be able to have a good control of things. But we shall see. This will be a good one to start off our main card.
For sure. The fans seem to think it's going to be overwhelmingly Giesey-Phoenix, 91% win.
Really?
91?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, dynamite debut.
68.4% of them think it's going to be by KO.
Oh,
yeah.
so maybe this guy is a stand-up guy.
Oh, okay.
Even though everything I've done some research on says he's going to be a ground guy. Okay, hey.
Yeah, only 31.6 say decision.
Okay.
And then it's 9% Roberts, and it's 50-50 KO or decision, or submission. I mean, there I go again.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see. See what Tapology is right on this one.
We'll see. We'll have to go back. And
I love having this. No, we're gonna start tracking this.
Yeah, because I didn't know that they had this. I didn't scroll that far down on the page before. I'll be honest. I saw the card and that was it. So I'm glad that we saw that. Then moving on, we've got a veteran of Carnage Media, James Gibson, versus Deacon Sawchuk. Right? That's how you say his last name, Sawchuk?
Yep, I think so.
That's right.
I mean, what can we even say about Gibson? I mean, we've seen him so many times. We've seen him stand and bang. We've seen him go to the ground and roll around. I mean, we've seen him do just about everything. So
he has been tested. He's been through the deep end, the deep waters, if you will. Like you said, he's a veteran. Carnage Fight Series 1, he was on there. And he beat Colton Hensley by rear naked choke in the first round. And I don't know if you guys can see, but Hensley is going to be fighting for the amateur belt. So Gibson is a tough kid.
Well, and that's Colton's only loss.
Yeah,
that's Colton's only loss is to Gibson. Wait, no. James lost to Colton.
Sorry. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I read that wrong. You're right. You're good.
Yeah, he to rear naked choke on Carnage Fight Series 1. That's what it was. Wait, you're just backwards today. It's all right, buddy.
I am backwards today.
It's just one of those Wednesdays. It's okay. It's all right.
I think I watched SpongeBob earlier, and I was like, you know what? It's opposite day.
Because I was looking at this, I was like, wait a minute. So yeah. So
I was just gonna say, Clayton also had some thoughts on this one. Be sure to check out his article later this week with the full preview. But he says, Deacon Sawchuk, we've only seen 9 seconds of action out of this young prospect, and James Gibson tends to drag his opponents into deep waters during fights. I'm curious to see how Sawchuk handles someone with that level of experience. I thought that was a great addition.
Yeah.
We miss Clayton at the commentary table. He's doing some great things out there, but check out his work on carnagemediappv.com. This article, like I said, he'll have his own preview posted on the website. But yeah, this is one of the circled bouts on my own personal card. I've been very interested to see that because we haven't seen a lot of Deacon, but what we saw was dominant. And it was pretty vicious. It was pretty brutal. A very quick knockout. And he's got a lot of power. And like you guys have said, we've seen James survive a lot of different styles and apply pressure in his own different ways. So he very likely could avoid some of those and take things to the ground. He can do some of his own stuff up top. But yeah, this one is going to be a really fun fight to watch. And it's one that I would make sure I'm in my seat for, because it could go 10 seconds or 3 rounds. You really don't know, but Deacon definitely has that knockout power. We've seen that live.
For sure. We saw his knockout power that lasted less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Was that what it was? 9 seconds?
9 seconds.
9 seconds.
9 seconds in the first round. Now, he's a stand-up guy. He's from Iron Tiger, so, like, we expect that. But he's also was a high school wrestler. So, you know, you talk about James Gibson dragging him into deep water. Boy's been a high school wrestler. So obviously I feel like he's going to be able to withstand that, or not withstand it, but be comfortable in that environment. But again, like you said, you know, we've seen James Gibson do everything. To me, he's kind of like our own little Nate Diaz. He's just kind of that guy.
Yeah.
You want to stand and bang? All right, let's stand and bang. You want to go to the ground? All right, let's go to the ground. I'll Stockton slap on you. You know, that's what Gibson kind of reminds me of. He's just kind of that guy like, oh, you want me to fight? Okay, here, now, then, when?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Just down to fight, and wherever it goes, it's going to go.
Yeah.
Wait, what do the polls say about this one?
What are the fans saying? They are saying 91% Sawchuk.
Oh, yeah. 89.5% KO.
Yeah. 89.5% KO, 10.5 by decision. 9% to Gibson, and it is 50-50 submission decision. I couldn't mess that one up.
Hey, there it is.
So that's going to be a great fight. That's going to be a fantastic fight that I can't wait to see.
Yeah. So the fans even think that Sawchuk just has too much power for Gibson.
We'll see. We'll see if Gibson can hang on and drag this thing down to where he wants it, whether it's to the ground or maybe he wants to stand with him. Maybe he wants to prove himself and be like, this guy can't hit that hard.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I mean, it's different because, like, you have those overwhelmingly, like, powerful KO type guys, but then sometimes if you just pressure them, it kind of negates it a little bit. So I wonder if that may be Gibson's plan, you know, just kind of smother him and be in his face.
Yeah.
Well, hey, exactly. There are leg kicks, there are body kicks and punches. There are some things you can do to slow down a powerful fighter like that. And so, yeah, we'll see what his game plan is, but it'll be an exciting fight, whichever direction it goes. I love the way you put it. James will be willing to go that direction, and it sounds like, from what we've heard, that Deacon might be equally adaptable. So I will be shocked if this one spends a lot of time on the ground, but I think either way, we'll be in for a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree with you. And then going up, our next bout is our 170 welterweight championship for the belt, our newly vacant belt. Aaron Mock versus Colton Hensley. Now, only one of these fighters have been out of the first round, and that's Colton. He went to the third round, and what was it, a decision, Wade? I'm trying to remember.
No, he lost by submission in round 3 with 28 seconds.
Got you that time, Zach.
Yeah. So, and then Aaron, and both these guys are 3-1, by the way. And Aaron Mock's longest fight, his longest fight has been 1 minute and 48 seconds, which was his last fight, which he got a rear naked choke on. So, I mean, he's got nothing but but ground stuff on him. His loss was a standing guillotine choke. So they must have just caught him in a position of him trying to go for a takedown. That's my thought on that. And that was actually on an Ego Fight Series. So
in the interview that we did that you can catch on YouTube, go search up Aaron Mock. He was saying how he gets disappointed sometimes by finishing fights so fast.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think this is a legit question. Are we going to see a second round with these guys? Because all of their victories, so all 6 victories have been in the first round. And the longest one is 1 minute and 56 seconds for their victory. And that was Colton. And that was on Ego Fight Series 3 armbar against Peyton Spurlock, which isn't an easy feat, because I think we've all seen Peyton Spurlock fight, and he is a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, I would agree. And getting this one right now, he also stopped Jason Gibson in 43 seconds of the rear naked choke, and Gibson is a tough cookie as well.
Yeah. So he's got some guys in there that have been very tough. Eager to see what he does, or at least what these guys are going to do. Because I don't know. Is it going to be a stand-up? Is it going to be a ground guy? Because I feel like Hensley wants to stand and bang, and while Mock, his kind of history has shown he wants to go to the ground.
Yeah.
I think this one, to just go back to your other question for a second, I think that because both of these guys are well equipped and have faced tough competition, I really do see this one. I don't necessarily seeing it be a decision. I won't go that far, but I do think we will get out of the first round, just because I have a hard time imagining either one of them getting put out early in the first round via submission, at least. Maybe, of course, it only takes one, right? You hit the button, knockouts absolutely happen. But I have a feeling that, as you've talked about with some other fights and what Diamond Long has taught me to call collecting data, I think there might be a little bit more of a feeling out process early on between the two, because they are going to be pretty equally matched. But that's me kind of going against the grain. It's sort of like the exception proves the rule is what I'm banking on. It's sort of like betting on a baseball player who's in a slump, because you're like, he's due, like these guys are due for a slobber knocker, as JR would say. And I think it will go into the second round, he said, selfishly, as the commentator who wants to see these guys beat each other up for at least 4 to 5 minutes.
We want to see that cardio.
Yeah.
Show it to me. Wait, what do the polls have to say about this one?
The polls, 80%. Who do you think they would say? You cheated. You looked. I saw you, Zach.
Yeah, I did. I'm not going to say anything. We'll leave it to Kevin. I'm sorry, but I started looking over.
Let's see. Flip a coin. They went with Mock. 80% Mock.
80% Hensley.
80% Hensley.
Yep. 68.
Now, does Tapology have his nickname on there?
They
okay.
Actually,
because I was going to say that might have rigged the vote.
Yes, they do. Nickname the hash slinging slasher.
Of course. How you not going to vote for that guy? if you don't know either fighter, you're definitely voting for the hash slinging slasher.
You're not going to vote for Aaron Money Mike or Aaron Money Mock, not Mike.
These are some good nicknames, man. Ooh, man, these guys are bringing it for the title fight. I love it.
Oh yeah. They got 68.4 decision for Hensley, 21.1% by submission, and some people seem to think 10.5% KO, TKO. And then the 20% for mock is 80% by submission, 20% by decision.
Okay. Wow.
I'm surprised that they have Hensley, like KO, TKO in there.
Wait, you're surprised about him in a TKO?
Just for this matchup,
Well, okay, for this matchup, because I mean, because he won one of his fights by strikes.
Yeah.
So,
Wade wants that grapple fest.
But he always does. He's let him 2-3 year decks hand.
Forget.
That's Wade. That's Wade for you. Well, moving on now, we're going into our pro bouts. We're going to I'm excited about this one, guys, because we got two heavyweights. Both of them like to stand and bang. Blair Phillips versus Juan Silva. And yes, they do have Juan Silva's nickname on there, Kevin, if you were asking. And for the fans, if you guys don't know, Juan's nickname is Juan L. Beaner Silva. Yes, that is correct. I should have probably made Wade say that one since he's the Hispanic one of the group here.
I approve this message.
I know Juan does too, so I'm not worried about it. We saw Juan in Carnage Fight Series 1 when he was still an amateur just do a brutal knockout, because he did a knockout and then just pushed the guy away. He was like, boom, get out of my face. This is my win. And just walked away in the second round. So we know he's got knockout power. Blair comes out hot. He comes out fast. And he's a striker. He likes to strike. I know, talking to his coaches, he's been working on his ground game because he just switched gyms. And so he's been kind of focusing more on his ground game, trying to work on that. But initially, he likes to stand and bang. And I think you can't ask for anything better than two heavyweights when to just sling some leather.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always fun because most of the time it ends up in a knockout.
Yeah, that's right. We saw Blair in the recent charity striking and grappling event too. So he was looking good, looking sharp. Obviously, the last time we saw Juan, he had a very tough matchup, right? Was Juan in Combate? What was the
Yeah, it was.
That was a
former BG football player.
Yeah,
that's right.
Donovan Stevens.
There you go. Yeah. So, but we know he's got a chin, so he can take damage as well as deliver it. And even that fight, that second round knockout that we saw, that was a tough fought match early on. Like, I think he had the better stamina and clearly has the punching power. But his opponent in that one, what I remember most was that he had very unique striking form. So he was coming at with a lot of unique angles, doing some spinning back stuff as well. So Juan can definitely swim out there in uncharted waters if he needs to, as well as deliver it. So this will be a great co-main. I'm excited. I don't know if it gets to the ground at all. We'll see. Maybe a little bit, but it sounds like both of these guys want to do most of their stuff upstairs, and they both have the power to end it with one. So I don't know how often we're going to see too many the takedown defense in this bout.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I'm just excited to watch it. I'm going to be honest. I don't know who's going to win it, because it's kind of hard to predict when you got two guys who can sling leather, because it's like any punch can be that punch. So really hard to make a decision there, but we don't really have to right now, because we can go to the polls. What do the people say, Wade?
It is 75% Phillips, 25% Silva.
Yeah, but I bet it's mostly knockout, right?
Yep. It is 50-50 knockout for Silva, and it is 83.3% KO for Phillips, 16.7 by decision. So there's no submissions in the future. In the forecast here, it is straight leather and KOs.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. And I can't wait for it this Saturday. I'm excited to watch that one. I really am. I can't wait to see these guys because it's the first time we've seen Blair other than the charity event. It's the first time we've seen him on Carnage Media. First time we've had him on Carnage Fight Series. So I'm excited. I mean, we do have some vets on here as well on this whole card. So I'm excited to see some of these guys coming back onto the card, wanting to fight on this card, wanting to fight for this promotion. So I'm excited about it. And speaking of people who have fought on our card before, that leads us right into our main event, Dylan Budka versus Jimmy Sandlin. Now, we watched Jimmy last time on Carnage Fight Series 2 against Quentin Richards, and that was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
We thought that this was going to be a ground game that was, that's what we thought it was going to go to because we've seen Quentin just dominate on the ground. Sandlin has a history of dominating on the ground, so that's what we thought we were going to see, and both of them threw that out the window and came out brawling. Is that something you're going to see for this time? Because we saw Dylan. We know he's mostly a ground guy. We've seen him when he was in the UFC. He liked to go for the takedown. He likes that smother technique. That's what he likes to do. He likes to get on top. He likes to smother. He likes to torture you and then slowly put you out of your misery.
Yeah.
Will we see that? But we did see his stand-up ability last month on Flag City Fight Night where he took the guy down by body shots.
Yeah, his boxing looked crisp and
changing levels, doing a really good job, shooting to the body, dropping the hands, coming up top, hands coming up, going back down to the body. He did a fantastic job of doing that. Now, is that going to translate into MMA now? Is he going to display that this fight? Are we going to see another blood war? Or are we going to see something that's going to go to the ground? What are we going to see? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are he's making his welterweight debut as a pro. He meaning Dylan.
There we go.
And I think that he wants to make a statement. So I think he's going to focus on his hands a little bit more. I mean, that's what he was primarily focusing on for this boxing match. I think that translates over into MMA. He's going to use those hands a little bit more. And I think I just think he's gonna focus more, stand up, and try to get that KO and make a statement. That's what I think he's gonna go for.
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that idea, Wade. At least in the first round, I think we'll see a lot of stand up because, again, as we learned last time, Jimmy's fine to do that. He's got no problem staying on his feet and breaking bones and cutting people. So I think he will be more than willing to meet Dylan halfway if Dylan does want to stay up on his feet. And I also agree with you. He did spend a lot of time prepping for that boxing match, and you assume that was immediately transitioned into training for this. And I would think that those two things go hand in hand, that he wants to display that in the octagon he can do that stuff. And I do believe at a certain point, I don't know if it'll be the second round, third round, maybe even late in the first, I think what we will have to keep an eye out for is whoever is winning that stand-up game, at what point does the person who either feels they're getting bettered or whose coach tells them to shoot, who's going to shoot first? Because I think it's going to stay in the back pocket. I do think we will have some good work on the ground here, but early on, it's going to be a lot of stand up. And I think if it does end up being one of those that goes all the way, or what that last one ended in the last 30 seconds, I think, of the final round, that last main event. So I think if it's it's going to go back to a stand-up game, but I do think we have a chapter in this fight titled "A Little Bit of Grappling Happened Here." So
now, if you remember correctly, last time we had Dylan on Carnage Media, actually was in the queue. So he's going right back to where he was. He was throwing a lot of kicks against Dan. He was throwing a lot of kicks, especially a lot of high kicks to the head. So do you think we're going to see that, or do you think we're just going to see more hands instead of, or do you think he's going to actually be getting in there, mixing it up, trying to confuse Jimmy?
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to mix it up. He's thrown kicks in almost every single one that I've watched him do. So I think he's going to mix it up a little bit to open up shots and find different shots. Now, I think Sandlin is just going to be game. I think he's going to come in striking, and if Dylan goes, he's going to open up his jiu-jitsu there. Now it's just going to be, can Dylan control with his wrestling to negate any kind of jiu-jitsu defense from Sandlin? But I like to see this being a barn burner too. Just go just trade shots. Just go do another bloodbath for Kev.
Yeah. Kev, what are you wearing? Are you wearing a white shirt again?
Probably for this one. Yeah, we'll get this one put up on the wall when we're done. I think, yeah, exactly. I'll bring a spare. I think there will be a little bit more of that creativity. I don't know if it'll be as much as it was in that Henderson fight, because I think, generally speaking, when you have a speed advantage or a length advantage, that's when you can get more creative and go for more of the head kicks. I think head kicks are kind of hard to combo a lot, right? It's your one, right? If you're throwing it, you get some kind of feint, or unless you're spinning into it. So I think that will be something that we'll see plenty of kicks. I bet we'll see a lot of leg kicks, a lot of body kicks, because at the end of the day, that is a great way to get the power advantage, especially if you do want to win in a stand-up game. Weaken your opponent's base, get them dropping their hands down. That's going to work pretty well. But I don't know if we'll see like a ton of question mark kicks or anything just going straight upstairs, because on the other end of that, we've got Jimmy or Dylan. Conversely, I don't expect Jimmy to throw a ton of head kicks at Dylan's way either, because they both would have the ability, if they catch it, that's probably turning into a takedown. I think that's the other thing about head kicks. You're in a very compromised position. If you do get caught, you can get caught on a body kick, maybe not get taken down. But I think if you're going upstairs and you get caught and someone shoots for a takedown, they're probably going to get it. So I don't know. Maybe we won't see as many of those, but it's going to be a very entertaining opening round. I firmly believe that. I think he's going to come out. Budka's going to want to come out on his feet, throwing hands and probably feet. And as we've said, Jimmy is 100% game for that. And I think, think about it from on Jimmy's side, man, he was in a bloodbath with Quentin that, that was close to a 50-50 for most of it. I thought I would have had a hard time picking a winner if it hadn't been decided in those final few seconds by Q. And Jimmy took a lot of damage, but he delivered a lot of damage too. Q, I don't know if we had ever seen him take that much damage. So it's going to be an incredible fight. And I don't know how long it stays standing, but it's going to deliver while it's there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in the first round, you'll see them mostly stand up. I feel like these guys are going to really test each other out, especially after Dylan probably saw Sandlin's last fight, because he was there. He was cornering guys. So he watched it firsthand. And so he knows that he can stand. He knows from his past history he can go to the ground. So I'm just eager to see how these guys are going to come in. What's their game plan? That's what I really want to know, is what their game plan is going to be. And, if you ask these guys, it's going to be like, oh, wherever it goes, it goes. It's like, no. Me as a fighter, I know what it is. I'm going in there, and I'll say the same thing. Yeah, wherever it goes, I'll go too. No, I want to stand. And I want to exchange with you. That's where I am. And Wade's probably going to sit there like, oh, I want to get on top of you and just lay on you.
No, I will use my hands to open you up for a takedown, and then put some elbows to your face.
Yeah, you think that till a knee comes up. Heck, Wade, just remember, I just lift my knee and it already touches you in the chin. You short little T-Rex.
Hey, I just touch your leg, you fall over.
Speaking of that, though, too, it did make it harder for a wrestler. If I'm striking your leg that you always like to go down on for a takedown, if I'm sitting there and I'm striking that, how difficult does that make it for you to go and shoot for those takedowns? Because, Kevin was talking earlier about, more body and leg shots than probably head shots. Will those leg kicks diminish your ability to go for takedowns? Because I'm not a guy who goes for takedowns, so I don't know.
Facts. Yes, it will diminish takedowns, not in the sense of not being able to take down, depending on, I remember years ago watching Aldo destroy Uriah Faber's leg where he couldn't even put no weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're kicking and I got some damage, it hurts, and to the point where you're switching your stance a little bit to that point. And it's not going to stop you, but it will decrease your speed, decrease the explosion of a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're not as fast, you're not as explosive. You have a better chance of defending that takedown.
Well, we'll see which one tries to use that strategy. If they use that strategy, maybe they'll just use their fists to talk. I don't know. I mean, that's how I like to talk. Yeah.
I mean, either way, if you use that strategy, I think it's brilliant to just pepper that lead leg, last little low kicks on that calf.
Oh yeah,
and it just slows their movement down. Then if you're keeping it standing up, your time is going to be better because they're not moving as much.
Exactly. And what do the polls have to say about this one, Wade?
Oh, the polls. They are saying 97% Budka, 3% Sandlin.
Sandlin not getting any love here.
Yeah, so it is 62.5% by KO for Budka, 15.6% by submission, 21.9% by decision. Now, Sandlin's got 3%, and it's 100% by, what do you think?
I already know.
I know, you keep looking.
I can't help it.
Submission.
Submission?
Yep.
By KO.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
They watched his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. Is they watched his last fight against Quentin Richards, which was a hell of a fight, by the way. If you haven't watched that, guys, you need to go and watch that. I'm just saying, because it was 3 rounds of just punch after punch, blood everywhere. It was amazing. Kevin got it all over him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kevin blood.
So did Amin. That was Amin's baptism that night.
Yeah. Well. Hey, and people, come and check it out, because you're going to hear Kevin, you're going to hear Amin again, and you're going to hear a little bit of Quentin is going to be on the mic as well there for Carnage Fight Series 3. So you guys want to go and check all those guys out, listen to what they've got to say while it's all unfolding. You can catch that at carnagemediappv.com. You can go buy the pay-per-view now. It is available. And if you're around this area, make sure go on there. You can buy tickets right now. Tickets are still up for sale until Friday. Friday online ticket sales will be done. The only time you can get tickets will be at the door. So, final thoughts, guys, on this card. What is your thoughts here?
Final thoughts. Saying 50% KOs.
Oh.
Ooh.
You think it's going to be 50% KOs?
Half the fights are going to be KOs.
Well, I mean, our promotion is known for having more finishes than decisions. Yeah. So I'm going to say that we're going to have a 95% finish rate.
Let's go. Early night, boys. Yes.
95% finish rate is what I feel like we're going. Maybe not that much. Maybe we'll drop it down to about 90%. So there's 10 fights. One of them will go, because 95 would mean half of them. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Now I'm thinking about the actual things here. So 90%. We're going to say one of them is going to go the distance. One of them.
I'm going to say 82%. Split the difference. It's going to be a great card, though, one way or the other. It's laid out pretty well. There are some good matchups. I love seeing the clashing of styles, and then of course having some double debuts in there, or at least having a double debut in there. It mixes it up. You don't know exactly what you're going to see, but we know we're going to have a great main card. There's a lot. I mean, everything on that is worth watching, and those are the kind of fights that I would be circling on my card. And so we have a good collection of fights. So I would say my thoughts, the crowd, is if you're watching from home, get the cooler stocked, time out your bathroom breaks, because you might miss entire fights if you aren't on your game. Be ready.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, I got a question.
Oh.
What is your fight of the night? What do you think your fight of the night's gonna be?
Oof. Oh, no. I'm going with the co-main. I'm sorry. Heavyweight slinging leather.
Oh, the heavyweight standing up. Color me shocked. That's of course.
I'm gonna pick that. Come on. I'm gonna pick that. If I know they're gonna stand and bang, that's my fight of the night. I mean, that's what I like to see.
Is it cheating to pick a title? I feel like when you pick the main event or like a title fight, it's like cheating to be like, it's like, well, it's like the easiest picks. Like, well, no shits. That's why it's the main event, or like no shit. That's why it's a title fight. But I think to not do, I'll take the lesser of two evils, and I'll pick the title fight over the main event as my fight of the night, because those two, Mock and Hensley, I think are incredibly well matched, and it is a thing where, as we just discussed, they have finished a lot of fights early, and I think they're both running into an opponent that isn't finished early very easily, and we've got a belt on the line. We know Colton's been wanting to get an opportunity at that belt, so he's hungry for it. We know Aaron's hungry for it, and I think they are going to put on a hell of a show and get us geared up for those co-main and main events.
I agree. Wade, what about you, buddy?
Nice. I'm thinking Deacon, Sawchuk, James, Gibson.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I think Deacon's going to have that power. Might drop Gibson a little bit, but he's tough cookie. He can bounce back. It's just going to be one of them fights that just like, is he going now? Oh no, he's back alive. So I feel like you're just gonna be on the edge of your seat for that fight.
Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for Gibson to pull out the Stockton slap, because if he does, I'm probably gonna lose it. So if you're listening, Gibson, if you pull that out, you might just get the fight of the night just because of
that. now Clayton, I feel bad because I didn't look at this first, but Clayton did pick the main event as his fight of the night. So if you want to hear the rest of his picks of the weekend, well, you'll have to have your phone read it to you, because it'll be an article. But you can see the rest of his predictions over at CarnageMediaPPV.com. But yeah, he says, let me just give you a little snippet here.
Oh yeah.
Clayton's pick fight of the night, Budka versus Sandlin. The fight has a lot of questions that will need to be answered. Can Budka adapt to fighting at a new weight? Can Sandlin utilize his striking and bounce back from a hard loss to steal the show? Budka is from a wrestling background. Sandlin has experience in all aspects with over 20 professional MMA fights and 30 total fights. He says the X factor will be Budka's hands. So there we go. That's his fight of the night. You want to hear his prediction, you'll have to go read that on our website. Thank you, Clayton.
Thank you, Clayton. Always appreciate
thank you.
Your knowledge and your insight. So again, boys, Carnage Fight Series 3, August 23rd, this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get your tickets, get your pay-per-view, CarnageMediaPPV.com. Now, what I also want to put up here real quick, boys, I didn't show you guys this beforehand. So I did want to bring up Carnage Fight Series 4, boys.
Okay.
We already got Carnage Fight Series 4. That's going to happen September 13th. All right? And right here is our co-main event, Danny Moore versus James Haley. pro featherweight, we got some light boys getting in there, so you know it's going to be active. Not saying, well, to me, they don't, their punches don't feel that hard, but they might to each other because they're small. Sorry, boys. Sorry, I had to crack a joke. But this is our Carnage Fight Series 4 Route 30 Rumble. You got to come check this out. This is going to be an outdoor card, guys. Our first one is going to be outdoors at the Harley-Davidson in Upper Sandusky, out in their parking lot. Hopefully it's cooled off by then. That's what I'm really hoping for, and I'm hoping for no rain.
Yeah, exactly. Electronics and rain don't work too well.
Not so well. So, guys, we've got a lot of fights coming your way. And just so you know, beforehand, I don't have a poster with me right now, but we'll be also doing a boxing series on September 12th. So we've got a very busy weekend. September 12th, we've got the Sniper Series 2. That's going to be a all boxing card. I'm excited to see that. We're going to be filming there. We're going to get that. I believe that's going to be at Venue 18 in Fostoria. And then the next day, we're picking up. We're traveling about half an hour to Upper Sandusky, and we're going to be filming Carnage Fight Series 4. So stay tuned. Be excited. I'm excited. What are your guys' thoughts about upcoming Carnage Fight Series 4 being outdoors, guys?
I'm super excited.
I cannot wait for it. It'll be too cold for a leather jacket, so you can expect to see me in some sort of Tommy Bahama shirt.
We're going to need Q on there because that's what normally Q wears. He just wears his Hawaiian shirts everywhere.
There we go. It's going to be perfect. It's going to look like something out of WCW in the 90s. Bash at the beach. Just see me with some of that suntan lotion, just white it out on my nose. But I am excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great venue. I've heard a lot of nice things about it. It's they do a ton of events there, so be sure to check it out because it seems like the kind of place you can hang out before and after the show. So this is one. How often do you get to see pro fights outside? Go check it out, and of course you can hang with us at ringside on CarnageMediaPPV.com if it's too far for you to drive, or if you're like me and you get sunburned easy.
Hey, you should be under the canopy, okay? You'll be underneath the canopy. We'll make sure of it. We'll make sure of it. We can't let you get burned.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got coming up this weekend. Carnage Fight Series 3, 7 p.m. Carnage CarnageMediaPPV.com. You can go there, get the pay-per-view, get tickets, and then coming up next month, September 12th, September 13th. September 12th, we've got a boxing Sniper Series 2 and then Carnage Fight Series 4 coming. So, boys, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm excited for these upcoming cards. It's going to be a blast. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a blast. So, you guys need to go out and check that stuff out.
Yep. I'll see you guys Saturday.
Yep. We'll see you guys Saturday.
Adios.